morning, it's Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. Looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Monday, the 1st of February. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, looking at the hourly candlesticks, bearish start here. Going to need to see Bitcoin move back through the 23.6% fib at 33,008 and move through the pivot level at 33,258 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 34,287. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break back through to 34,000 levels. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 34,407 should cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Bitcoin test resistance at 36,000 before any pullback. Second major resistance levels is at 35,437. Failure to move back through the 23.6% fib and through the pivot level at 33,258 would bring the first major support level sitting at 32,103 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should steer clear of sub 31,000 levels. Second major support level at 31,079 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, we got a widening of the bearish histogram this morning after a late failed bullish cross yesterday. That's supporting the early pullback. On the EMAs, we're seeing the 50 close in on the 100 and the 200, also supporting downside this morning. So keep an eye on that. Like we could see a bearish cross there. So key through the early part of the day, move back through the 23.6% fib and through the pivot at 33,258 to target resistance levels. Failure to do that and support levels are in play. Moving across Ethereum against the US dollar, it's also bearish this morning. Going to need to see Ethereum move through the pivot at 1326 to take around the first major resistance level, sitting at 1370. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break out from 1350 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 1382 to cap any upside. Event of an extended rally should see Ethereum test resistance at 1400 before any pullback. Second major resistance level is at 1425. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 1271 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should steer clear of sub 1200 levels. Second major support level at 1227 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, we've got a marked widening of the bearish histogram this morning, supporting this early sell-off. On the EMAs, we're seeing a possible bearish cross of the 50 through the 100 there, and a narrowing on the 200, also signaling a bearish morning. So key through the early part of the day would be for Ethereum to move through the pivot at 1326 and break through to 1350 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels are in play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar. It's also a bearish start. Going to need to see Litecoin move through the pivot at 130.16 to take a run on the first major resistance level, sitting at 134.63. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break back through to 134 levels. So barring an extended rally on day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 135.21 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Litecoin test resistance at 140 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 139.67. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 125.12 and the 38.2% fib at 125 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should stay clear of 120 levels. Second major support level at 120.65 should limit the downside. Looking at MACD, we got a bearish cross this morning after a late bullish cross yesterday. That's supporting the early pullback. On the EMAs, the 50 is also pulling back from the 100 and the 200, signaling a bearish morning. So key through the early part of the day would be to move back through the pivot at 130.16 and through to 134 levels to break out through the resistance levels. Failure to do that and support levels are in play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, it's a bearish start to the day as well. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fallback through the pivot at 0.4732 to take a run at the 62% fib at 0.5522 and the first major resistance level at 0.5593. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break out from yesterday's high at 0.5369, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect the 62% fib and the first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of another breakout, could see Ripple's XRP test resistance at 0.6 before any pullback. The second major resistance level sits at 0.6231. A fall through, it's just fallen back through the pivot. So fall through the pivot is bringing the first major support level at 0.4094 and the 38.2% fib at 0.4070 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should steer clear of sub 0.40 levels. However, second major support level sits at 0.3233. Looking at the MACD, you've got a widening of the bearish histogram supporting this early morning pullback. On the EMAs, 50 has widened the gap against the 100 and the 200, signaling further upside, however, for Ripple's XRP. So key through the early part of the day would be to avoid a fallback through the pivot at 0.4732 and break back through to 0.50 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failures to do that and support levels will be in play.